Who's hungry? The deli's open. Hey guys, Marco D'Angelo here for Marco's Deli, powered by WagerTalk.com. Guys, if you've been following along this season here on Marco's Deli, you have been winning. Another huge week last week as we went 5-0 here on the show. That brings the record to 7 winning weeks, 2 losing weeks, and 1 break-even week, or that translates to 32-17 against the spread. Want to thank everybody that's been following along. I want to thank everybody for all those birthday wishes last week, as I truly appreciated that as well. And let's get to this week's show and appreciate those thumbs up that you guys have been giving us and leaving us comments. It really helps the channel out. Let's get started with play number 1. And guys, if you've been following along, UConn, Connecticut has been printing money for us all year long. Whether we've been taking them or going against them, UConn has treated us very well. And last week, we went with them because we were going against Duke. Why? Well, Duke was in fat and sassy mode because they won a big game over Clemson the week before. And I thought they would look right past Connecticut. And Connecticut did exactly what I thought they would. They'd take it to Duke. It was a shootout, but we got the easy cover with the spread as Connecticut won outright as an underdog, 37-34. So now all of those reasons that we went with Connecticut last week, now we're going against them because they're the ones on fat and sassy alert, coming off beating an ACC team. That's a big deal, beating a Power 5 school for Connecticut. And I just don't see them being totally focused this week, especially because they got to play Air Force. Air Force, you know what's coming. They're going to run the football 50-plus times with that option attack. You know how hard it is to stop that option attack, and it's hard enough to stop it when you only have a week to do it and you don't play them every year. Makes it even tougher. Doing it in 1 week, doing it off of a big win where you might be a little fat and sassy, and then to make matters worse this year in defending Air Force, not only are they going to jam the ball down your throat 50-plus times, but this team this year actually passes the football. They're averaging 15 passes a game for 169 yards. That's going to make them mighty tough to defend this week. I think it's going to be tough for Connecticut to get prepared. I'm going to go ahead, call for another shootout. We're getting 6.5 or 7 points here. It was 7 overnight. I'm seeing 6.5 Thursday morning as we're taping this. I like it either way because we got Air Force winning outright 34-31. So for grading purposes, we're taking Air Force plus 6.5. Game number 2, Georgia Southern at Coastal Carolina. What am I doing even looking at a game like this? Well, let's take a look. Georgia Southern is just 4-5, and yet they're a 3-point favorite at home against Coastal Carolina. Why, you ask? Well, here's why. First off, Coastal Carolina has played a much softer schedule. Georgia Southern started the season with back-to-back road games on the West Coast, playing Fresno State and Southern Cal. That was tough on their part. Last week, Coastal Carolina became bowl eligible. They won their 6th game of the season. So you've got a natural letdown spot with Coastal Carolina because they're bowl eligible now. But it gets even better. Look who Coastal Carolina plays next week. It's what I like to refer to as a big brother versus little brother game. Coastal Carolina takes on SEC Power 5 team South Carolina. I always tell you, when we have these in-state battles, the little brother team is always going to be sky high to take a shot at big brother. And that's exactly what you have with Coastal Carolina going next week to play South Carolina. So this is the perfect sandwich spot, coming off becoming bowl eligible and having that big game with South Carolina next week. Let's go ahead, take Georgia Southern -3 as I have them winning this one 38-27. All right, let's go to play number 3 here on the Deli. East Carolina -3 against Memphis. At first glance, Memphis looks like a live dog. They have scored 32 or more points in 8 of their 10 games this year. But Memphis is in a very bad spot. They are coming off what I like to refer to as the Dream Crusher game. What is the Dream Crusher game, you ask? Well, that is the game immediately following a loss that eliminates you from your season goal. Last Friday night on national TV, they were at home and lost to Tulane. That was a big loss. Had they won that game, they would have been 5-1 in the conference, tied for first place with Navy, and 9-1 overall. And they would have been in position to win the at-large bid for the national playoffs. That's all gone now with that loss last week to Tulane. This is East Carolina's final home game of the season, and they are 4-1 in conference play. East Carolina can still win the conference. East Carolina is 6-3 overall, with 2 of their losses coming to Power 5 teams, NC State and BYU. I think East Carolina has played a tougher schedule. I expect Memphis to be flat after losing a game that they needed so badly. Plus, that game was on TV on Friday night at home. All things that have them set to lose the same game twice. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 3 points with East Carolina, and let's call it East Carolina 35, Memphis 24. All right, guys, here, before we get to the final 2 games of the show, got to do a little business. You know the drill. We've got this week $49 Weekend Warrior. That's available as it always is. You can pick up Saturday and Sunday football for just $49. But if you want to get 10 days of all of my plays, and guys, we are on a roll. Last 14 days, 22-9 for a net profit of $3,365. Those of you that took advantage of the birthday bash last week, you know what we did, including that big 5% play on Nebraska underdog that won outright. That brings our record to 36-16 on those 5% plays. Well, we've got another 5% play going this week. You can pick up that play, 36-16 since February of 2024. That would be included in this 10-day all-access package. Also available this week, an even better deal. You like that $64 special last week for a week? How would you like to get the rest of the season for less than $60 a week? You can get all of my plays in every sport, football, basketball, hockey, all the way through the Super Bowl for $749. There's 13 weeks of service left from now to the Super Bowl. You'll get everything. A week, your regular rate is $99. So you're looking at just under $1,300 if you bought by the week. I'm giving it to you for $749 if you buy the Super Bowl package right now. You'll get every play in every sport, including those 5% plays. Head on over to WagerTalk.com to check it out. Also, this is the point of the show where I ask you one more time to hit that like button. Leave me a comment. I love talking to you guys in the comment section. I enjoy hearing where all you guys are watching us from, and I like to answer those questions. So leave me a comment, leave that thumbs up, and we will converse in the comment section on YouTube. All right, we got 2 more plays. Let's get to them. Texas State at Southern Miss. Wow, this line smells fishy, guys. If you take a look at this one, Southern Miss is 5-0 in conference play. They're 7-2 overall. Yet they're just a 4-point favorite over Texas State, who is 0-5 in the conference and 3-6 overall. They're absolutely begging you to take Southern Miss in this game. Last Saturday, Southern Miss beat Arkansas State on the road 27-21, giving them sole possession of first place. Had they lost that game last week, Southern Miss would have been in a 3-way tie for first place. This puts Southern Miss on fat and sassy alert. It also must be noted that Arkansas State, in the loss last week, had 6 turnovers. Even though they had 6 turnovers in that game, Southern Miss was only able to beat them by 6 points. That tells me Southern Miss was very lucky to win that game last week. Southern Miss has trouble stopping the run. Texas State is a 200 club member. What's a 200 club member? That is a team that runs and passes for over 200 yards per game. It's tough to defend those type of teams because you don't know which to try to defend, which to take away. If you take away the running game, they're going to beat you with the passing game. If you try to stop the passing game, they're going to run the football down your throat. That makes Texas State very dangerous dog in this one. I think this game is a trap. Southern Miss only -4 when you look at the difference in records. I'm going to go ahead, take Texas State. I think this one goes right down to the wire. It's going to be a field goal game. Let's call for the upset. Let's take Texas State +4 as they win it 31-28. All right, last one. It's the NFL game. You guys know what's happened with these NFL plays. 9-1 on the season. Guys, I don't just tell you about the winners, man. We give you the plays here. We prove our ability to win every single week right here on Marco's Deli for free. Our NFL plays 9-1 for the season. This week, we're going with Arizona +3 against San Francisco. Both teams are coming off bad losses last week, but the public is more willing to forgive the 49ers' bad performance. Why? Well, let's start with it. It was against the Rams. Public perception, the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFL. So they are very forgiving when the 49ers lose to the Rams. B, it's the 49ers. The public still loves the 49ers, even though this team is absolutely decimated on defense with injuries. C, Arizona lost to Seattle last week. Both teams got blown out last week, but the public views the Rams is a much better team than Seattle. They're undervaluing this Seattle team. Guys, I'm going to tell you, Seattle's for real. They're not doing it with smoke and mirrors. This team is for real. Now, you look at those injuries I talked about with San Francisco, that defense is getting wore down. If you look at their last 5 games, 4 of those 5 games, listen to what they've given up. 30 points to Tampa, 26 points to Houston. Houston's had trouble scoring all year. 24 points to the New York Giants, who just fired their coach last week, and 42 points last week to the Rams. Do you really want to be laying points on the road with a defense that's getting shredded right now? The only team that San Francisco was able to hold in check was Atlanta on Sunday Night Football. They were at home, and Michael Penix Jr. had a horrible game. I like Arizona in this one. And if you go back to last week's game with Arizona at Seattle, that was their second game in a row on the road. They played the week before on Monday Night Football and won. And then they had to play again on the road on a short week. It's hard enough to play back-to-back road games, but when you've got to do it on the road on a short week and it's against a division rival like Seattle, it's even tougher. I think the wrong team is favored in this game. I know that sounds crazy. At worst, I think this game should have been a pick'em. No way the 49ers, with all of their injuries, should be -3. I'm going to go ahead, take Arizona to get this one done. Let's take Arizona +3. Arizona 24, San Francisco 20. All right, guys, that's it for this week's Deli. I hope you enjoyed the show. Give us that thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and you'll be notified every time there is a new video at WagerTalk. And until next week, guys, let's eat good. The deli's open. Let's cash some tickets. I will talk to you guys next week. Good luck.